In the very beginning, before there was time, before there was sound or color, or even a single sparkle of light, there was only darkness, thick, deep, silent darkness. And yet, there was God, powerful, wise, alive, watching over the endless emptiness. Then, something incredible happened. With just a word, just one command, God broke the silence when He said, "Let there be light." Instantly, light flashed across the nothingness like the first sunrise after forever. The darkness scattered, and the first day was born. God smiled, for the light was good. He called the light day, and the darkness night. And evening and morning passed, the very first day in history. But the story was far from over. The world was still a swirling mix of water and mist, like a mysterious ocean cloud. Then God spoke again on the second day. Let there be an expanse between the waters, and whoosh, a vast blue sky appeared. Water stayed below, and more gathered above. The air shimmered, the heavens stretched wide, and the earth had its first breath of space. Still, there was no ground to stand on, only water everywhere. But God was not finished. He said, "Let the dry land appear." The waters rolled and tumbled back until land rose like giant islands from the sea. God called the land earth and the waters seas. And when He saw it, He said it was good. But then, something magical began to grow. Green shoots popped up from the soil. Soft grass spread like a carpet. Tall trees stretched their arms toward the sky. Colorful flowers painted the land with beauty. All kinds of plants, some to eat, some just to admire, sprang into life. That was day 3. The next morning, day 4, the sky was still bright, but it had no sun, no moon, no stars. So God said, "Let there be lights in the expanse of the heavens." And, just like that, a great blazing sun burst into life to rule the day, and a gentle, glowing moon appeared to rule the night. The stars sprinkled across the dark sky, twinkling like diamonds scattered by a joyful hand. The sky full of wonder. Then came a whisper in the waves. Something was about to happen on the 5th day. God looked upon the sea and said, "Let the waters swarm with living creatures." And suddenly, the oceans came alive. Tiny fish darted through coral caves. Massive whales sang deep songs. Creatures of every color filled the sea. Then God looked to the skies. Let birds fly above the earth across the expanse of the heavens. Whoosh! Wings flapped, feathers gleamed. Eagles soared, parrots chattered, and tiny hummingbirds zipped between flowers. God blessed them all, saying, "Be fruitful and become many." When the next day began, the land was quiet, too quiet, but God had something amazing in mind. He said, "Let the earth bring forth living creatures according to their kinds." And just then, the ground trembled. Out came lions with golden manes, elephants with trumpeting trunks, deer leaping gracefully, and rabbits hopping through meadows. Even the tiniest bugs and crawling creatures had their part in this masterpiece of life. The earth was alive. The air buzzed, the ground rumbled, and the forests whispered with sound. But God wasn't done. He was preparing for His greatest creation yet, something unlike anything before, someone who could think, create, and care for everything He had made, someone who could reflect His qualities of love, wisdom, and strength. So God said, "Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness." And the world held its breath, waiting for the next miracle to begin. From the dust of the earth, God formed the first man. He shaped him carefully, every detail, every breath, every heartbeat. Then God leaned close and breathed life into his nostrils. The man opened his eyes. He saw the blue sky, the golden light, the soft grass beneath him, and he lived. His name was Adam. God smiled, for Adam was alive, made to think, to create, and to care for the world. And that was the moment the world changed forever. Now the work of creation was complete. The heavens and the earth were perfect, alive, shimmering with light and life. On the seventh day, God rested, not because he was tired, but because everything he made was very good. And as the stars twinkled over the quiet world, God set aside this day as holy, a day of peace, joy, and gratitude. But God had a special place in mind for Adam, a home unlike any other. So God planted a garden, not just any garden, but a paradise filled with beauty and peace. He called it Eden. Rivers flowed gently through it, feeding every tree that grew there. Some trees had golden fruit, others sweet berries, and in the middle stood two wondrous trees, the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and bad. God placed Adam in this garden, telling him, "You may eat from every tree except from the tree of the knowledge of good and bad. For the day you eat from it, you will surely die." It was a loving warning to protect Adam, not to limit him. Every evening, a soft breeze blew through the garden, and God would walk there, watching his creation with joy. Time passed, and God brought the animals to Adam to see what he would call them. Imagine that moment. The lion padded forward with its golden mane shining. "Lion," Adam said. A tiny bird fluttered near his hand. "Sparrow." And God smiled as Adam named every creature, one by one. But even with all the animals, something stirred in Adam's heart, a quiet longing. The lions had lionesses, the birds had partners to sing with, yet Adam was alone, and God saw it too. It is not good for the man to continue to be alone. I am going to make a helper for him as a compliment of him. One evening, as the sun painted the garden gold, God caused Adam to fall into a deep, peaceful sleep. While he slept, God gently took one of Adam's ribs and, with great care, formed a new creation, a woman. When Adam awoke, he blinked in wonder. Before him stood someone like him, yet different, graceful, beautiful, full of life. He smiled and said, "This is at last bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. This one will be called woman." God blessed them both and said, "Be fruitful and become many, fill the earth and subdue it." This was the start of the first human family, the originals. Adam and his wife lived in the Garden of Eden, a place of peace and beauty beyond imagining. Cool rivers, colorful flowers, and soft green hills surrounded them. They worked joyfully, caring for the garden, feeding the animals, and walking together beneath the trees. There was no pain, no fear, no sadness, only love, laughter, and the joy of being close to God. They were both naked, yet they felt no shame. Each sunrise brought light, each sunset rest. The world was whole, alive, and perfect, just as God had planned. And somewhere in that garden breeze, the voice of God could still be heard, gentle, loving, proud of everything he had made. But Adam and Eve did something very bad. They disobeyed God. Can you guess what they did in the comments? Kindly like, share, follow, or subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you get to see new episodes.